It's not just the Chief Minister, but other ministers as well, MLAs.
Rape. Is it the only news you're having?
Sir, one more, sir, incident in Mysore, in your own constituency, where a girl was made to sleep for nearly 3 hours naked in a hospital when she went. She was a rape victim, and government made her to sleep for naked in the hospital.
Who told you?
It is on the newspaper, sir. We have been running the story on our
But I
channel.
have to get the information.
The Commission has recommended the action in that case.
In fact, if you've just tuned into News9, you can clearly hear what the Chief Minister is stating over there. A shocker on the 6-year-old's rape. Is the rape story the only news you have? This is what Chief Minister Siddaramaiah asked a reporter.
See, invoke Gunda Act, we're going to invoke.
Now, the government has been speaking about that itself for a very long time. The Home Minister also stated that stringent provisions of the Gunda Act would be invoked. He spoke about the Gunda Act being invoked. Well, it's a good case. The Frasertown issue, the Frasertown case, they said that the Gunda Act can be imposed over there because he's a repeat offender. Furthermore, the government has now stated that they have written to the Law Ministry to look into changes or amendments so that even first-time offences can be booked, or offenders can be booked under the very stringent provisions of the Gunda Act.
Women Commission has recommended the action in that case. Women Commission visited that place.
Whatever action is required, we will take. Political. Yeah, see, we are wherever we can see invoke Gunda Act, we're going to invoke.
Now, the government has been on the back foot ever since such incidents started coming to light. A dime a dozen. In fact, the important case was being discussed in the Assembly. The Chief Minister was snoring. Basically, he was sleeping over the matter. Not just the Chief Minister, but other important ministers. For a very long time, none of the ministers came out. It was only from yesterday onwards where you heard first the Education Minister coming out. It was only after intense pressure by the people, by citizens of the city, that the government decided to act. The Home Minister came out with guidelines. The Chief Minister stated that stringent provisions of the Gunda Act will be imposed. Basically, the perpetrators will be booked under the Gunda Act.
Whatever action is required, we will take.
Once more, listen to what the Chief Minister had to state when a reporter asked him about the increasing number of rape incidents in the city and the state.
Definitely, we're going to invoke. Bangalore? Rape. Is it the only news you're having? Bangalore? Rape. Is it the only news you're having?
Well, you just heard what the Chief Minister had to say. In fact, the government has been on the back foot. They do not know what to say. Every time they are questioned, they pass the buck. They're stating that the police are looking into the issue. Culprits or perpetrators of such crimes, dastardly acts, will be dealt with very severely, so on and so forth. But while the government is giving all those excuses, if one could actually look at them as excuses, because incidents of rape keep happening throughout the state, not just in Bengaluru, but throughout the state. In Hubli, in Mangalore, in Mysore, in Nanjangud, in Tumkur, right here in our very own backyard in Bengaluru. And in spite of all that, the Chief Minister has the nerve to actually say or ask the reporter in turn when she asked him about for a comment on the rape incidents in the city and the state. The Chief Minister turned back to her and asked her, is the rape story the only news you have and nothing else?
Women Commission has recommended the action in that case. Women Commission visited that place.
Whatever action is required, we will take.
Now, the opposition has hammered the government, not just in the Assembly, but even outside. Now, we have seen how the BJP has conducted protests, not just in Freedom Park, but the ABVP also has conducted protests outside the school itself. Now, their main demand, very simple: action, severe action to be taken against the perpetrators of this act, and that the Home Minister should resign, owing moral responsibility for the failure in the law and order situation, not just in the city, but in the entire state.
nearly 3 hours naked in a hospital when she went. She was a rape victim, and government made her to sleep for naked in the hospital.
Who told you?
It is on the newspaper, sir. We have been running the story on our
But I
channel.
have to get the information.
Women Commission has recommended the action in that case. Women Commission has recommended the action in that case. Women Commission visited that place.
Whatever action is required.
Well, we have Arun with us once more. Now, Arun, can we see the reaction of the Chief Minister because of the intense pressure, not just from the opposition parties, but also from the citizens?
No, you'll have to rephrase the question a bit. It appears now that the Vidhan Sabha has become a nice, cozy place where everyone goes, instead of transacting business with the government. They seem to be spending time taking naps. And it is not only CM Siddaramaiah, but also his cabinet colleague Ramanath Rai, the Minister for Forest and Environment, who was found taking a short nap in the assembly. So clearly it appears that the government is now in sleep mode, if one were to use that phrase.
Right. And now, Arun, it's not just this particular case, because there are so many cases. Again, listening to what the reporter asked the Chief Minister, and the nerve of the Chief Minister to actually come out and say, well, are there not any, is there not any other news? Rape the only thing. Is he, I mean, is he blind to what's happening in the city and the state?
No, he's clearly irritated because they've been, the media, as I said a little bit earlier, there's been a kind of a media audit, so to speak. There's been so much of airtime, newsprint, which has been spent on this particular heinous crime, the poor 6-year-old child. So much so that civic society seems to be wondering what are lawmakers and what are elected representatives actually doing. Are they trying to do something, or are they believing in the adage that doing nothing itself will mean something will move? So we will have to wait and watch, but clearly he is pushed to the corner. He doesn't know what to do. The bad news seems to be increasing by the hour, by the day, by the minute. So clearly he pushed to the wall, he snapped. Perhaps his patience running thin, and the media audit, the continuous media audit, if one were to use that phrase, has been so much taking on his, taken such a toll on his health that he's had to now buck under pressure and retort back. But clearly it shows that the government seems to be, at least at this point of time, running fast out of options available for itself. It doesn't know what it wants to do. It has come out with guidelines, but guidelines are fine. I mean, that is as long as people adhere to those rules and regulations. But what if I want to be deviant, I don't want to follow those rules and regulations, and I decide to behave in a manner which is not acceptable to the rest of the society? So you are seeing, therefore, such instances of rape now getting reported, and the impunity with which it is happening seems to be extremely disgusting, because it clearly seems to be showing or telling the men in khaki, look, you are there, I am here, I am doing this, and I will go scot-free. Nobody will be there to catch me. And the number of crimes only seem to be increasing by the day. That's a very alarming trend, Nolan.
Now, it also goes to show that he's clearly frustrated, extremely frustrated.
Yeah, obviously, because he's run out of options. He doesn't have any option. He's spoken to media in a very friendly manner. He's expressed the disgust of the government. He said the government is keen that vulnerable sections of society, their interests will be protected, and that women and children will be taken care of. There would be no such instances. We will issue guidelines. Everything has happened, but then the number of episodes, the number of such cases coming to light is only increasing. There is no tendency of it coming down. So clearly it goes to prove that the government is saying something, the predators are doing something else, and the society is left wondering between the two. What exactly is happening? Whether we've buckle under pressure and surrender ourselves to pander to the whims and fancies of these predators, or do we go with the government because the government is much more civilized? The government is the one that we've elected, therefore there is a responsibility on the part of the government. So the society at large is also extremely confused. But clearly, as far as the government is concerned, it looks like it's run out of virtually every type of option, barring now pleading and cajoling these predators from detesting and not going ahead with their heinous crimes, Nolan.
Right, Arun, I'm going to place you on hold there for a moment. In fact, the Chief Minister clearly frustrated over there. The government does not know what to do. Incidents of rape only increasing by the day. Now, we will continue to track all these developments and much more, but after this very short break.